Avatar: The Last Airbender was going to have a season 4, and no, I'm not talking about the comics. I mean a full-fledged 4th season. So what actually happened? Why did we never get a 4th season? Well, it's a long story, so if you will, just sit back, relax for the next 15 minutes, and let me tell you all about it. The year is 2008, it's July, school's out, Nickelodeon is still in its golden era, Cartoon Network is in the middle of a strange rivalry with itself, and the Wii is somehow the most popular thing on the planet. But right in the middle of all of this is one show, and it has everyone locked in. Avatar: The Last Airbender, and its biggest season is about to end. After 3 years of watching this kid slowly master the elements, fans are finally going to watch Aang face Ozai. The anticipation was through the roof, and Nickelodeon knew this. For those of you in your mid to late 20s, you guys are gonna remember this. Nickelodeon had marketed the finale like an animated summer blockbuster, a 4-part event, huge, dramatic. They treated this like primetime television, and it ended up working. Each episode of the finale hit over 5.5 million live viewers. Now, to put that into perspective, most animated shows were landing anywhere between 1.5 to 2 million viewers an episode, and the biggest ones like SpongeBob, Nickelodeon's golden child, typically hovered around 4 to 5 million on big nights. So Avatar fans really showed up big time for this one. The animation, the lighting, the Agni Kai, Aang finally returning to the Avatar state. The finale looked like nothing else on TV at the time. It had everything, it was emotionally charged, it was cinematic, but then it ends. The world is saved, Zuko becomes Fire Lord, there's a celebration, but right before the credits roll, we get one final moment. Zuko turns to Ozai and asks, "Where is my mother?" And then that's it. Screen fades, the story stops. I mean, just kidding, this also happened. But this was a clear setup for the next chapter. Almost like the show is promising there's more to come. So why didn't anything else happen? Well, it almost did. Behind the scenes, there were very real discussions about what a 4th season of Avatar would look like, and what the future of the franchise could become. Aaron Ehasz, the head writer of the series, eventually revealed that Michael Dante DiMartino, one of the co-creators of Avatar himself, approached him about the possibility about him running a 4th season. For a moment, it looked like the story would continue, but according to Aaron, plans quickly shifted for one reason and one reason only. The original creators, Mike and Brian, chose to prioritize the 2010 live-action movie instead of moving forward with another animated season. Yes, that live-action movie. Aaron later clarified that even M. Night Shyamalan himself, the director of the film, thought season 4 should happen, but Mike and Brian were determined to focus on the movie. And honestly, it's understandable. Yes, we know how things turned out. Years after the movie would be released, Mike and Brian would go on and tell everyone they had very little involvement, even told some of the original cast to not watch the film. Without having the foresight of knowing a disaster was going to happen, just put yourself into their shoes for a moment. Imagine creating a world from scratch, and then someone offers you the chance to bring that world to life on a massive Hollywood stage. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Worst case scenario, the movie sucks and you still made a lot of money, and you also still have one of the best animated shows ever made. And to top it off, the president of Nickelodeon at the time was predicting a massive future for the franchise, and it was all because of this movie. More animated series, a huge expansion of the Avatarverse, and up to 10 live-action movies if everything goes as planned. Of course, we all know how this turned out. The movie barely made a profit, which is honestly kind of amazing it even made a profit at all, considering its critical reception. Seriously, a 5% on Rotten Tomatoes and still made $320 million in the box office, and another $50 million off DVD sales. You adjust that for inflation, and that's almost as much as the Fantastic Four made. It's actually very impressive considering the awful reviews and terrible word of mouth. It's strange to think about the 3 possible paths we could have taken. 1, a 4th animated season and whatever follows. 2, a full cinematic universe with multiple live action films and more animation. Or 3, the path we ended up on. No season 4, no cinematic universe. But hey, at least we have Avatar Studios, which after 6 years is still working on
some stuff, some Avatar related things.
So what was season 4 supposed to be about? A lot of people people assume it would have simply been the comics adapted into animation, but that's not the case. The first Avatar comic post season 3 didn't release until 2012, a full 4 years after the season finale, and Aaron clearly stated that none of his ideas for season 4 were used in the comics or in Korra. His vision for the next chapter of the story was something else entirely. Over time, he's revealed pieces of his lost season 4 in bits and fragments, a podcast quote here, a Comic-Con interview there, a Twitter thread casually just stunning the entire fandom. If you collect all of these little bits of information and you put them together, these pieces paint a surprising picture of what season 4 could have been. And the biggest, most talked about piece of that picture? Azula's redemption. I know, we've talked about Azula's redemption so many different times on this channel before, but there's a lot more to this video than just Azula's redemption. If you don't want to hear it, skip ahead, timestamps in the description. But not everybody watching this video knows the story of Azula's redemption, so let's talk about it. In 2019, on April 1st of all days, Aaron released a thread revealing that he had always intended for Azula to have a redemption arc. And no, for everybody commenting down, it's April 1st, it's a prank. No, he clarified afterwards, it was just bad timing. His version of Azula's redemption was meant to be slow, difficult, and layered. According to him, Azula wasn't at her true rock bottom at the end of season 3. That breakdown we see in the finale, that was just the starting point of a much deeper descent. He described Azula falling even further, emotionally fractured and forced to confront everything she's buried. And at her lowest moment, the person she would find is Zuko. Zuko would offer Azula the empathy, forgiveness, and resilience that once was offered to him. And the result of that, Azula slowly transforming into someone capable of expressing emotions openly, or even awkwardly as he puts it. I think it's a good idea, man. This is coming directly from the person who wrote Zuko's redemption arc. Like Avatar Studios, if you plan on redeeming Azula, just bring this guy in. He wrote Zuko's redemption arc. I'm sure he can do a good one for Azula. It does seem that's the route you guys want to go down, so you guys know who to call. Although Aaron didn't directly state it, I think it's kind of obvious. They'd somehow tie this into finding their mother. Azula's trauma is not only tied deeply to Ozai, but also Ursa. For Azula, Ursa was a different kind of wound. Azula grew up thinking her mother feared her or didn't love her. She carried that belief for years, and it pushed her to be perfect, cruel, and always in control. And Ozai supported those unhealthy ideas, and Azula never questioned them because Ursa wasn't there. Tying Azula's redemption to her and Zuko working together to find their mother, I think I would have preferred that much more than whatever we got in the search. Honestly, it's kind of sad seeing Azula in the comics. Like this whole thing right here, I don't think that was needed. In Azula's latest comic, she kind of takes the first steps to redemption. We'll see how it plays out. Azula wasn't the only one facing her inner demons in season 4. Surprisingly, Aang too. He was meant to grapple with something far heavier than the season finale led on. In this version of season 4, Aang didn't walk out of that final battle with Ozai unchanged. While the show represents a clean victory without any bloodshed, or Aang compromising his morals, Aaron saw it as something with much deeper consequences. In a 2019 Comic-Con interview, he explained his original thinking behind energy bending, and it's far more complex than what the season finale had time to explore. He said, "There's always a cost. You took all of this evil into you, and to take it away from someone else means you're holding on to it to protect the world." Now that interpretation changes everything. It reframes the finale as not this peaceful resolution, but as a spiritual burden Aang has to carry on with for the rest of his life. Aaron would go on to say he would have had Zuko to be the one to help Aang through this, and honestly, Zuko might as well just be named a therapist for this season. What, he's helping Azula, he's helping Aang. Season 4 in many ways was shaping up to be the season where these characters were learning how to live life after saving the world. It wasn't going to be this next big conquest or this looming new villain. It seems it was going to be about the people at the center of the story, learning who they were once the war was done. But this wasn't going to be Aang's only arc. During that same Comic-Con interview, he revealed an idea involving the birth of a child and the rumors that followed it. People would begin whispering that a new air nomad might have been born. Not a bender created by external means, but a naturally born airbender for the first time in a century. Aaron explained that Aang would wonder if this child could be the reincarnation of Monk Gyatso. He also describes the theme of the storyline as exploring friendships lasting beyond lifetimes, which was a thing in both series. Now, we aren't done here. There is actually one more plot line that that I could find. But there's not a lot here. There's not a lot to go off of, but it's something. In 2019, someone asked Aaron directly if we'd ever see more of Ko the Face Stealer, and he replied saying, "Alas, never got to tell the Ko the Face Stealer story I wanted to tell in season 4 of Avatar." And then he added that this storyline was tied to Iroh. It's hard to picture how Ko and Iroh would ever cross paths because their worlds just feel so different. Like, I can't even imagine Ko leaving that cave, if I'm being honest. The only idea that comes to mind of how they would explore this is the long-running fan theory that Ko was somehow involved in the death of Lu Ten, Iroh's son. For years, people have pointed out that one of the faces Ko showed Aang looked a little bit like Lu Ten, which of course has led to tons of speculation. If they did plan to explore this, I'm not entirely sure what direction they could have taken this. Iroh is not a revenge-driven character anymore, so would it make sense for him to hunt down Ko out of anger? I can't think of any way they'd pull off the storyline without just spitballing something wild. So let me know in the comment section down below how you think this storyline would have went down. I am genuinely curious to see if anyone out there has any good ideas, because I would love to read them. We are now less than 1 year away from the new Avatar Aang movie. Actually, we're 2 weeks away from being 10 months away from the movie, which is insane considering we've seen nothing. But this will be the first major return for these characters since the original finale. Some of the rumors surrounding this movie sound kind of crazy and actually kind of similar to some of the things we talked about in this video. Even though Aaron isn't associated with Avatar Studios at this time, it would be interesting to see if any of the discussions he had for season 4 came to life in this movie. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the video is right here. It goes over the leaks and rumors for the new movie. Go watch it. I do have a very slightly updated version of that video, but it's members only, so if you want to become a member and watch that, go ahead and do that. But trust me, it's not too much. If you want more videos like this in the future where I explore some of the unknown Avatar lore or behind the scenes stuff like this that isn't really talked about, leave a like and comment down below to let me know. This type of video is a lot different than my normal stuff, so if you want more like this, really show your support in the comment section down below. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys later.